Today I'm going to show you how you can can your own venison meat into a tasty, delicious meal.
I'm very lucky to be using the quart-sized jars from Le Parfait from their Familiar With range, which I'm so excited to use, and I will give you my honest feedback on. Let's get them washed.
If this is your first time canning, you do not need to sterilise your jars. Don't worry about it, guidelines have changed. As long as your jars are clean, you are good to go.
I can only fit about 5 jars in my canner, so I washed them all anyway, and I'm just going to take one out with a lid and a top and just keep it to the side. I'm sure I'll use it for something else. Just to keep my jars warm, I'm going to fill them up with hot water and just leave them next to me until I'm ready to put the meat and the barbecue sauce in them.
Now all I'm going to do is take the venison out of the wrap and cut it up into about inch cube pieces. I'm hoping this meat will come out super tender, so the smaller the better really. My idea for this dish would be to have it on top of nachos or tacos with some nice shredded barbecue venison to make a really quick and delicious meal. And bonus, if we're in a situation where we didn't have access to much food, then we had something super nutritious.
I've got a fair bit of venison chopped up, but these jars are pretty damn large, so I probably wouldn't even need to use all 5 that I've got washed. Let's take out the juice and then we're going to put all the meat in the jars. You can use kind of whatever cut of meat you like. It doesn't even have to be venison, it could be chicken, it could be beef, really whatever you fancy. There's not much in this jar. I'm going to take a little bit from the others and then fill it up with some barbecue sauce. Because these jars are so large and I only had 2 cups of venison defrosted for this recipe, as I've never done it before, so this is the first time I'll be doing it, I might cut up some onions and stick them into, as well as our barbecue sauce to give it a bit of extra flavour. Our jars have got our onions and venison. We're going to stock them up with some barbecue sauce.
Now it's time to debubble our jars. This helps remove trapped pockets of air and ensure a really good vacuum seal in the canner.
This one I'm going to try out with a bit of water added in, mixing with the barbecue sauce to see if it gets the meat any more tender and helps the barbecue sauce a bit. I also just had a lack of venison in this one. Before we put the lids on, we're going to wipe the rims with some white vinegar to get rid of any residue that may be present on the rims of the jars that may cause our lids to fail.
If you would like a link to the 5-litre container of white vinegar that I used, check out the description of this video.
And remember to close your jars fingertip tight. And just before we get our jars in the canner, we're going to fill our canner up with 3 quarts of water. Good to go. Right, let's get our jars in the canner. I'm going to let our water get quite hot now. All I'm going to do is stick the lid on our canner, just like so, and we're going to wait for a steady stream of steam to come out of the vent right here, and then set a timer for 10 minutes. Okay, our canner has been venting for about 10 minutes now on full pressure. We're going to place our weight on top and get the pressure up depending on your elevation. Now that our weight is on, we are going to wait for our canner to get up to pressure, and this will happen quite slowly.
Now you want to process your contents for the correct time at your elevation. For me, this was 75 minutes for pints and 90 for quarts.
Okay, our canner has now completely depressurized, so if I lift up the weight here, you won't hear anything. There's no steam coming out at all. So we're going to pop that off, and when we open the canner, we're going to open it away from us because the steam is going to be really, really hot. There we go. Ooh, that smells really good. See, we've got the chicken completely cooked in there, these 2 here, and then these 3 are the barbecue venison. Ooh, look at that. And another one. just not get them touching. And the last one in here. Right, let's get that out. How good does that look? Brilliant. Every single one of these jars looks like they are gonna seal. If we just zoom in really quickly on how much they're bubbling in the jars, sorry. And then you can see the same in all of them. Today has been a very busy day in the kitchen, and I'm super glad that I've got so much canning done, and we will check these again in up to 24 hours. It has officially been around 24 hours since I processed all of these jars here, and we're going to take the lids off and make sure the seals are perfect. I am super impressed with these jars. Using them for the first time, every single one of them sealed, so this was a great success. Let me know if you have any questions.